Okay, here's my next review, and we're going all the way to Colorado to Keystone Resort. Keystone, and it's the first place I ever skied in Colorado, or out west altogether. Just some highlights. It's a great family resort, great for beginners. You can be in advance as well and have a good time. You're located in this beautiful little area with plenty of lodging, plenty of dining options, shopping options. You got everything you want. Real close to Silverthorne. Not such a bad trip from the airport. Well, as well as I-70 can be. I-70, the world's greatest ski parking lot. But, if you want to go ski in Colorado, that's what you got to deal with. So let's take a look at the map. Speaking of maps, so this is where Keystone is located. Actually, it's a great location because you're very close to Arapahoe Basin, which is not on Epic. So Keystone is on the Epic Pass. And of course, I covered Loveland the other day. Loveland's not on the Epic Pass either. So these ones would be separate. Arapahoe Basin is on the Icon Pass. Loveland's not. It may be on one of the more indie type passes. But you're in a prime location at Keystone. So when I go to Colorado, I generally like to stay in the Keystone Resort because I can just branch out from there to go wherever I want to go. Even if I'm on Icon, I mean, it's really easy to just go somewhere else from there. But you're next to this reservoir, which in the winter is frozen over. You'll see people skating there, cross country skiing on it, and you get some amazing views from just around the reservoir. You also have Frisco nearby. Frisco is this cute town, cute Colorado Western town. So, I mean, you could stay at Frisco as well. I think that's probably where I'd want to stay in the future, just that there's a little bit more to do in terms of that's not necessarily associated with Keystone. Again, I love being at Keystone, but you want to be something that's more separate so you can do more things that are not Vail related. So it's an amazing area. I do recommend if you're driving here that you should have either certainly something with all-wheel or four-wheel drive, and you should have snow tires. I mean, those are a must. The roads like 70 get closed a lot to vehicles that are not prepared. So if you're driving just a regular car, you rent a car and you didn't ask for it all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, you're not going to get through. You'll need chains at minimum to go through. Certainly all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive with good tires is better. You can actually go on. So this is on 70, as I mentioned, you're coming from Denver, but if you keep on going on 70, you'll eventually head towards some other nice areas like you'll get to Vail here, Vail, and then even Beaver Creek, Aspen. But these roads tend to close as well. So they have these big gates that'll close the areas if it's a very snowy condition. One of my favorite trips over there, my son and I got to I've had some seriously crazy adventures going there. It's always an adventure when you're flying to Colorado. So I had one time it snowed really, really bad the next day, not the night we got there, because usually I arrive in the later part of the day or maybe at night and stay somewhere right around the airport, and then in the morning drive up to the mountains. And one time it snowed a lot that evening after we arrived. And luckily, the only car they had to give me as a rental was this big, I think it was a Dodge Ram, if I can remember. I think, yeah, I was pretty sure it was a Dodge Ram. It was all fully equipped with all four-wheel drive and everything. And it snowed like crazy. And they were, of course, going to close I-70 down. But I had this awesome truck. I mean, I was like climbing over all kinds of stuff to get through. I mean, everything was closed. Originally, the GPS told us to, and this was back, I think, before I was using Google more. I mean, for my travel, we got like told to take this. I think I don't know what the road is like Loveland Pass, whatever, six going all the way, and it was just not a good idea. Not a good idea. So a lot of the area was shut because there was accidents everywhere. But I was able to maneuver while all these other cars were falling off the road. I was just driving my little tank till we got up to Keystone and had a blast. That was one time. The worst one of all was there was this huge snowstorm when I went. This was there during COVID, the COVID period, I think the year after when everything was shut down. I went that year, and first of all, I rented, and you should never do this. Always rent a car from a reputable source, or I know there's other ways of renting cars these days, but always get a reputable source. So I rented something on Expedia that had all these Jeeps. So, oh, a Jeep will do anything, right? I get there and there's this massive snowstorm. My flight is, I had to rebook my flight. It was canceled, all kinds of stuff. I get there, and of course, this this rental agency wasn't anywhere to be found. No buses coming. I tried to call them, nobody would answer. I took like a taxi to get there, and we finally found the location, which we couldn't even find barely. And I saw all these Jeeps out there, and I said, "Hey, can I, I paid in advance. I paid like, a lot of money. It was over 1,000 something bucks." And they said, "No, no, we're not giving anything out." I go, "What do you mean? These are freaking Jeeps. I mean, what else?" And she goes, "We can't get any cars out." So I was stuck without a car. I was stuck. I went to my hotel. I guess I got a bus to take me to the hotel, the motel that I was staying in, and somehow I worked my way. I think I went back the next day to see if I can get a bus or something to get up to Keystone, and I ended up getting the guy, an Uber driver, who ripped me off. Because usually an Uber from the airport is like $100. He ripped me off. I mean, if it was bad conditions, I didn't even know any better. I paid like $200 to get there. But I made it. I made it, and when I got there, I finally was able to rent a car and have an awesome time. Cost me a little extra, but hey, I had a great time. Lots of adventures. So I would say just when you go there, just it's not the same as skiing in Utah where you're in Salt Lake City and you're very close to all the mountains, so you can you're in a city, you're okay. Here you have to get to the mountain, and it's quite a drive. Like from the airport to this area is about an hour and 50 minutes, and you never know what's going to happen on your way there. So just be prepared. Going to the going to Keystone or any of those areas from Denver and coming back. Be prepared for everything. So don't be late when you got to catch your plane because you never know what's going to happen. Traffic's always bad at some point there. I don't care what time in the morning is. Don't drink a lot of coffee because you could get stuck and you're gonna, have an accident or something like that. It's just always something weird going on there. All right, let's look at Keystone Resort. So this is just a little view here. I'll go over all the things that you can do. I'll go over the cost of lift tickets right now and fun activities for your family. So let's get going. Let's rock and roll. All right, let's look at the trail map here. So this is now I've never been to a Bergman Express because it opened the year after last time I was there. So was there a 20, what's this is 25, 26, 24, 25. I think I was there 22 to 23, and this opened 23 to 24. But as you can see, the altitudes are really high here. So I mean the base is about 9,000 feet. So even if you're just staying in Keystone, be prepared for oxygen related issues and other altitude related conditions. Like for instance, when I open yogurts, they always like explode. You got lower pressure up there. That's so funny. Okay, so there are a variety of different trails for different levels of skiers and snowboarders. I apologize for always saying skiers. I'm a skier, and so I would say and snowboarder. But when I talk about skiers in this case, unless there's a resort that only allows skiers, which there are some, skiers for me refers to everybody. So essentially, if you're getting there, you want to park at either the River Run gondola parking lot or out here around where the Peru Express is, right? You got this Mountain House East here, you got Mountain House West. I tend to like to go here and then take the Peru Express up and work my way across. And usually people like to go to the gondolas because that's or sometimes you have these trams in certain mountains. You want to do that because it seems the most fun thing and most efficient, but that's where everybody's going to be, right? So you usually have to wait in line here. If you go to Peru Express, you can get to where you're going a little faster. And plus you have to ski to get to everywhere else, so you get that benefit going. So I generally tend to go to this area here and take the Peru Express up. And you might even like this area a lot. There's plenty to see here. And if you like terrain parks, there's a lot of terrain parks. There's also a lot of open area where on a snowy day you get some good powder. So that's really cool. Uh, I will say that if you're looking up at the mountain, this lower Go Devil and Richter, they and Go Devil, they're like there on your face. It's like a as you can see, it curves around. So if you're standing from the base anywhere here, you can see that that's one of the most prominent runs. It's used for racing, and it's pretty steep, but it's nice. I really like that. I have a video showing it. I don't know what I'll put in the link to this, maybe that or just the rest of my reviews since I'm doing so many reviews right now. Keystone has the longest run. This is 3.5 miles school marm. If I were a beginner, never been out west before, and I really wanted that out west skiing experience, I would go to School Marm. You have tons of spots to stop and take pictures and take breaks on this long, long run. If you want you're not a really good skier, you're still a beginner or a lower intermediate, I mean, or even, from an advanced skier and you just want to see sights, I would say go school marm, do it from top to bottom. You'll love it. You'll love it. But there's little areas that are offshoots from school marm, like Upper Frenchman. That's actually a really nice, cute run. I did that. I don't know when I did that and went down like one of these wild Irishmen or something. It's fun. All right, so here's your gondola. Your gondola has a stage. It's one of these stage gondolas where you can get off. I think it's right here. Yeah, mid-station. You can get off here and ski or snowboard, whatever you want to do down here, or you can go all the way up to the top. Now, you don't even have to be sliding on a day that you go up to the top because there's a kids' castle up here that you can actually take your kids up and get entertained with. Into summer once, so I've been here into summer as well. In the summer once, I went up here and I hiked all the way down. That was a long hike, and it was about the thunderstorm, so it wasn't my best judgment idea. I haven't spent as much time in this area, to be honest. I tend to want to go over here to this Timber Ridge area. So let's take a little trip. Okay, so we parked in the River Run gondola. We go to the River Run area where it's let's see if I have any pictures of River Run area. Thought I had one here. Yeah, so yeah, maybe not. Well, River Run is this cute, really, really cute area. So this is lodging. We'll talk about lodging in a second. It's this very, very cute area that's got shops and it has lots of restaurants, games that you can play like in a public square, fireplaces, the games like what's that one game where you toss the bean bag into the hole, whatever that's called. So I mean, there's tons of things to do there. So if you're in with your family, you could have a blast, or if you're just with your friends and you want to get drunk and party, there's plenty of places to do that too. So River Run is a nice area here. That's why if you can just have your whole vacation staying at Keystone, and then again you can work your way out to the other Vale resorts like Breckenridge and even Vale from there. There's shuttles that'll take you to all these places for a price. Everything's for a price, of course, right? But anyway, I like to when I get there, so in the morning, I just want to get to the gondola. So if I go to the gondola, I'm gonna take it all the way to the top. And then from here, I'll take in the views, maybe look at the castle. Then I'll generally head down Mozart or one of these trails down to the Timber Ridge area. Folks, if it's a sunny day, there's a bunch of Adirondack chairs here set up. It is freaking spectacular. You just want to stay there. You can have a beer. You can eat some really good barbecue. Sort of the steakhouse here. It is life. One of the things that you get when you go up in these higher altitudes is you get these amazing places where you can just stop and look at the mountains and just chill out. I love it. It's the best. That's one of my favorite places of anywhere in the world when it comes to skiing is sitting at the base of the Santiago Express and just like finding an Adirondack chair. I'm usually done at that point. I don't want to ski anymore. But at the top of Santiago, you've got all these really cool blacks here. Starfire is my favorite. I love that one. And if you're lucky, when you're sitting here, you'll see people have not that I don't want anybody to have accidents. Hopefully they don't get hurt, but you'll see a lot of falls over here because it's steep. This is really, really steep. So you can go up there. So I usually end up there at the end of the day. Other ones that I like to go to are I like to get to either Anticipation or Spillway and head to the Outback. And at the Outback, you've got these blues here, all these runs here. If there's powder, I mean, they're epic. They are they're amazing. You get your powder exposure. I remember during the pandemic, we were all worried about wearing face masks. And I was wearing a mask. It was cold anyway, and my mask was freezing. It just froze, got stuck on me. Like, what the hell do I need a mask for? I'm in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's gonna, gonna infect me with anything. But this is amazing. And then from here, you can also hike up and get to some other terrain if you're interested in going to these bowls. And I believe, and I was trying to figure out where it is, I believe you can catch one of these snowcats here and do some snowcat skiing. I mean, it has everything you want. It has everything. I remember also during that same trip, when I was heading down this way to go to the Outback. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was here or maybe it was in this area here. I got stuck. It was like snowing so deep. I mean, powder was up to my waist. I'm 6 feet tall. It was up to my waist. It was somewhere around here. I mean, it was amazing. I don't even know what else to say, but amazing. This is clearly a fun place to be. And it's very family oriented. So you'll see a lot of kids there. And then you could also, because it's so huge, you can separate yourself. Like any of these resorts, if you go later in the day, you're going to encounter more people. If you go on a weekend, you're going to encounter more people. I mean, that's just the way it is. Okay, it's not something that you can avoid. Okay, but it's just I say epic. I don't like to say it because we think of Epic Pass, and it's not because of the Epic Pass. It's epic because it's epic. Also, one thing that I notice when I go out west, there's a lot of sun lotion stations because obviously as you get higher up there, the chances of getting exposed to dangerous rays is higher. So you always have vats of suntan lotion here. Oh, I forgot there's this outpost gondola too that you can take instead of skiing down there. You can just take this to get to the outpost. So is it outpost or outback? Outpost, right? Oh, the outpost gondola, so you can get to the outback. So I would think that probably of all the areas here, my favorite area is this Santiago Express area for many reasons that I said. I'd like to try this area one day and just play around some more here. If you go up to these higher areas, you just have to be ready for things like avalanches. So you should have like equipment. You should also have oxygen ready if you need it. Not everybody does well without at these altitudes. And one thing that I've learned is that if you're skiing, I don't care how good shape you're in, you're not going to be good in as good shape if you're coming from sea level going up to these high altitudes. It takes a little while to acclimate to it. Okay, let's talk about a couple other things, hotels. So I usually find a property. Oh, here it is. Here's the village, right? Oh, yeah, that I was talking about here. So if you want to find a place, I mean, you can go Airbnb. You can go like sometimes I go Expedia, or if you have Epic Pass, you'll get a good discount through Epic. Here's the riverfront. Is it riverfront again? As I'm older, I don't remember things as well as I should. River Run Village. So that's what it looks like. Here's the outdoor areas with giant chairs you can play around in. But I like renting from them too. It's such a smooth process. There's a central location when you get to the resort, and then you can from there you can like get everything you need to have a good time. All of these properties have plenty of amenities. There's always a hot tub somewhere, maybe even a pool. I like staying in condos. I don't like staying in hotels. I like to cook on my own. You can drive down to Silverthorne. There's a grocery store there. You can pick up all the food you want, drive back. Again, you need a car that's capable of driving there. And then you can buy all your alcohol and everything you want down there and come back. Once you're in on the property, if you're in Keystone itself, even though there's plenty of dining options, groceries and things are not that easy to get. So if you're not driving, like if you're just bussing around, you might be at the mercy of whatever they have. Like that one year when I went, it was crazy snowing. It was really hard for me to get food that I wanted because the grocery stores were kind of limited. There really aren't any grocery stores. They're like these little shops. It was limited food options and it was dangerous to walk anyway because it was so slippery. So I think it's better to have a car if you can. Again, unless you're eating out every time, and then you're fine. Okay. I've stayed in so many of these properties. I like staying at the places that are close to the slopes. I can just I can go. I mean, I can't even remember all the places I've stayed. Stayed in so many different places, but I've never had a bad experience there. Not once, not a single time. Never had a bad experience there. And let's see what else. Price. Let's look at the lift ticket prices because that's what everybody's interested in. Let's go winter lift tickets. They do have night skiing, which is cool, but in a small area. In a small area. So let's look at lift tickets. So if I were to buy tickets, what's this for today? Today it would be $155. If I wait a day later, go a day later, it gets a little cheaper. So it's obviously it's better to buy, a few days out. This is for 3 days. So, it's not as expensive as I would have thought. I mean, I was thinking, oh wow, it's going to be expensive. And if you need to rent equipment, I've rented equipment from some of the local areas of. Trying to think of the name of the area that the place I would like to rent equipment from. Yeah, so yeah, you can go to Silverthorne, ski, let's see, ski rental. Oh, actually, there's a couple places that I've rented from that are really awesome. Christie Sports is one of them. Christie Sports is okay. I mean, they have probably the better equipment. I had a kind of a bad experience with somebody. I wanted to change my skis, and all my colleagues who are ski instructors, they said, "Oh, yeah, just go back and tell them you don't want to change my skis." And they were like, gave me a little bit of a hard time for wanting to change my skis. There's this little place. Well, I gotta find this for you. There's this little place where I rent skis from. Let me see. Ski rental Silverthorne. There's a little place that's right next to this pizza joint that it's for ski rental, Keystone Sports, Blue Valley. It's right next to maybe it's Mountain Sports Outlet. Let's see if I can find this. If you want to hang out with me, I love it that you're hanging out with me because I want to find you deals. I want to find you deals. So let's see, Silverthorne. This is Silverthorne, Silverthorne. Where's Silverthorne? Yeah, here we go. Here's Silverthorne. Columbine, that's it. Columbine ski place. It's a little joint with a big heart. I love going to this place. So I'm giving them free pub. You can get all your equipment here, even late season. And their equipment has been really good. They're patient. They take good care of you. I've never had an issue getting anything from them. I always rented from them. I actually had a better experience with them than I did renting from Christie's. And in fact, I would have rented from them, but the one time when my Jeep didn't come through, it just threw me all off, and I ended up having to rent with Christie Sports. But it's okay. All right, so that's my review of Keystone Resort. Great place to stay, and you can like go out. You can just stay the whole time at Keystone, or you can go out to all these other mountains and look at those pictures. I mean, they're breathtaking. Yeah, that's it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot so I can keep on making videos like this. Thank you.